We're in Lewes, East Sussex. It's a very magical and interesting place. This church where we are is actually built on 3 major ley lines, so it's a real source of mystical energy here. Cauldronated are Eva Manon, fantastic Italian poetess, Dave Harmon, who, with his wonderful vintage synthesizer collection, makes the amazing electronic backing tracks. And of course, one of the world's best drummers, Dave Barbarossa, formerly of Adam and the Ants and Bow Wow Wow.
We're here with Cauldronated, Eva and myself, to do this show at this amazing church. Hopefully wake the dead quite pleasantly. And I did a book reading across the road at the Union bookstore, which is great thing to do, some nice people there. So yeah, just here to play the drums and make some music.
Thanks Dave, it's lovely mate.
I went to see Dave play a couple of shows in London. One of these was a show in Shoreditch, I believe. I was with a friend of mine, it was a good show, and we left, and as I was walking towards the tube station, car stopped, and then he said, "Oh, I'm putting together a new band, do you want to be in my band?" And I said, "Yeah, sounds good."
My mate David Harmon, who was the synth and producer of Chicane, we made some music together, and we made some more music together, and we decided we need something to front our sound, and we thought, should we get our, you know, the conventional soul-y singer to do it, or should we go for it a little bit more? And I knew Eva as a drummer in a few other bands, and I asked her if she'd front the band because she had something about her, and lo, it worked, and that's where we are. I detected a vulnerable shade in him. He wanted me to think he was mad or hard or bad, but he wanted me to like him as well. I knew that razor blade balancing act. I'd been performing it all my school days. I felt reassured I wasn't the only kid that straddled the line between nasty and needy. Landing with a snarl, he produced a second surprise, a dazzling, all-encompassing smile that looked like the sun coming up. His teeth were pearly and even like an old film star's. His eyes were wide, secretively grey. His pale skin was literally spotless. He was elfin, a forest creature like a deer. I decided to write a novel because I felt I've always had a novel in me, like most people do, you know, the kind of story of their life, embellished and mucked about with. And I think in a novel, you can possibly say more, you can be more truthful, more emotional, and you can be more entertaining, and you can take liberties. I was conscious that we were shit, but we were shit together. When he finally ran out of puff, he opened a can for me. I squeaked mightily, it went straight to my head. Fuck, I said, coughing snot and beer all over the kit. That was brilliant. Got a germ of an idea there, Harry. Yeah? I tried to look like I knew what he was talking about. I reckon I could get at least 3 numbers out of that. You reckon? I was genuinely intrigued. Was this how it was done? The alchemy of songwriting revealed in a cellophane warehouse? Oh yeah, gonna do my own album. He lit me a fag with a nod. Once I'm sure I'm in the scene. The scene? Punk. Punk? What are you, a parrot?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, check.
It's great working with Dave. I mean, he's obviously an excellent musician, very experienced, been doing it a while, and you know, very, very artistic man. It's
a kind of unique chemistry of like live drums, you know, which are kind of free and show-offy. You've got Eva, who's a very concentrated, intense performer, and you've got Dave's synths that evoke sort of Ibiza house and 90s techno. On the 15th of September we've got our debut EP coming out on Hot Work Records. It's called Buy This Thing. It's 3 tracks of ours and 3 remixes from different DJs and people, which is kind of interesting.
I think I was standing in the tube one day and I just saw all these posters and I thought, you know, for all the stuff that they come up with, all they're trying to get you is buy whatever it is, buy this thing, whatever the thing is. So yeah, that's what it's about. So go and buy it.
What about not having the snare drum? That's a really good story. This is probably the first time I've ever said in public, but what happened was that we were trying to get this sound in the rehearsal with me, Math and Lee in Bow Wow before we got a singer. And I was playing and I just couldn't get it, and you know, we were trying and everything, and Malcolm was becoming more and more alright. Now he was a very angry man, Malcolm. I'm not saying that Adam was, I mean, both very, very angry chaps, and you didn't want to go alongside them. But basically I just couldn't get it sounding the way I knew we all wanted. So this is to show the genius of Malcolm McLaren, who's not a drummer and his sense of rhythm is not great. He just looked and he just steamed over and he picked the hi-hat and the snare drum up and he threw them against the wall and told me to get on with it. Yeah. And that moment of genius by him had me develop that drum sound in Bow Wow.
I've become very interested in using churches, especially disused churches, purely because of the acoustics of a church. And also, churches were designed to bring people together. Architecture is there to focus everybody, to listen, to be together for music, and to really think about something bigger than ourselves.
There you go. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you very much.
If you had a chance to invite 3 people tonight and you knew that they were going to come along, who would they be?
Anybody in the world living or dead?
Well, they can't be in the world if they're living or dead, can they? Winston Churchill, Nelson Mandela, and Ledley King.
I knew you'd say Ledley King!
She hasn't punched me yet, or spat at me, or, you know, run all my bedding in the bath in the hotel room, or failed to turn up, or anything yet. That's an interesting thing. Maybe I was subliminally, subconsciously looking for Math, and I found Eva. Which is what you're saying. It's a bit deep.